So last week, I was catching up on the third season of a series on Netflix called Stranger Things. And I had a small revelation I'd like to share about prayer and faith. Fans of this show can get right into this, but if you aren't familiar with Stranger Things, this is generally a brief, and please be warned, there are spoilers. There's a character on the show called Dustin, and Dustin is one of 5 kids who star in the show. Now, basically, the plot is they've been battling some form of extraterrestrial entity that has been trying to take over their town as a result of some experiments that some foreign people are conducting in secret in the town. And they've been trying to stop this infiltration of, creatures from the upside down, as they call it. Now, Dustin comes back from vacation in this particular season, and he's excited to share with his friends that while he was on vacation, he met a girl. And according to him, this is a pretty special girl, and she's called Susie. She's super smart, super geeky, and according to him, super beautiful as well. In order to prove to his friends that this girl actually existed or she was a real person, he comes up with the idea to build this huge communication radio transmitter, which they place on a hill at the highest point of the town. And apparently this transmitter is supposed to allow him to be able to communicate with this girl over states, right? So he builds this tower and tries to call Susie. And for the whole season, he's trying to reach Susie on this radio transmitter, and she does not answer him. Now, his friends at this point are pretty skeptical whether this Susie girl actually exists, because, obviously everyone is hearing all these fabulous things, but nobody has heard her answer. So they really feel that Dustin is making this girl up.
One sec. No, she's still there. Susie, this is Dustin. Do you copy? Over.
So in the season finale, as they're battling these extraterrestrial forces and Russian spies that have built a whole network underneath their town, they are supposed to infiltrate a vault which has an access code, basically, which is supposed to be Planck's constant. But none of them are sure what exactly Planck's constant is. Whilst they're trying to do this, to pull off this infiltration, and Dustin is at the top of the hill with his transmitter, and he's trying to coordinate everybody because he's the radio guy. Then he has the bright idea to call Susie, because Susie might be the only person who knows what exactly Planck's constant is. So, in the heat of the battle and everything, he tries one last time to get Susie on the radio. And guess what? Susie answers. And everyone is like, oh, she actually exists.
Susie, I copy.
Susie!
Dusty Bun?
Dusty Bun.
Where have you been?
I'm so sorry. I've been really busy. Trying to save the world from Russians and monsters.
Psalms 145, from verse 18 to 19 says, "The Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He also will hear their cry and will save them." People around you have most likely seen you pray, have most likely seen you engaged in calling on God. And some of them, just like Susie, have wondered if God really exists or whether he's listening to you. I can assure you that he does listen. He does hear you, and He does exist. But the point is, you have to believe that He does, whether He answers or not. And more often than not, He will show up at the point when you truly do need Him, not just when you want Him. Because His main desire and goal is that we need Him. We need Him more than we need ourselves or anything else. And the closer you are to Him, the more He will reveal Himself to you. Hebrews 11 verse 6 says, "And without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." There have been many times when I found myself in the act of prayer, simply trying to fulfill the ritual of it and hoping for a reward for the effort. It's often the wrong way to go about speaking to God, because prayer is an exercise in faith. But what does that mean? What that means is, it's as much the act of prayer as it is the belief in the act and the belief in the person or the one whom the prayer is directed at. I think the most often, the reason why prayer is more effective in crisis is because it's in times of need, in times of intense need, more often than not, that our faith in God is the greatest. It's the same reason why Dustin could reach Susie in that time of crisis, because his faith was at the peak. And that is how it is with God. Jeremiah 33 verse 3 says, "Call on me, and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things which you do not know." These days, I think we have more faith in Google search than anything else, and for very good reason. We actually use Google. I found that the more we rely on God for answers, the more we actually get from Him. And that resource, my friends, is far more infinite than the universe is vast. God's promise to us through the mouth of the prophet Jeremiah says, "Call unto me. Call unto me, and I will show you great and mighty things." How can we see great and mighty things if we don't make the effort to call? 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 17, it says, "Be unceasing and persistent in prayer." Praying to God must become a lifestyle if you want to begin to reap the immense benefits of prayer. Then, like Paul taught us, we must not faint in the habit. Let's be relentless. Let's be determined to reach through to God, just like Dustin was determined to reach Susie. And the reward, my friends, is immense. Please do like and follow, and feel free to share in the comments below. The views and opinions I share on this platform are entirely my own, and they don't reflect the opinions of any of the third parties whose content I use or refer to. All rights remain with their respective owners.